sound fine, I'm going to hit record and we can fill for like a minute and then we'll go.
I thought you already hit record. What have we been doing all this time? I thought we were filling.
No, we were shooting the breeze.
Ah,
We
okay.
were giving the live experience. The kind of
Yeah.
live experience that Gothic pays good money for.
This is true. Gothic, whatever you're calling the shots.
I was trying to get people to come play Among Us with me. Because it's awesome. Ow. As I think it was Stark mentioned in the Discord server, sometimes the answer really is, you just gotta play it.
That's fair.
Oh. And oh god. What time did we get on this call? Like the first time?
About 8:32.
You see how late I made us, everyone? Yeah.
I mean, some of the odds and ends didn't get recorded because at some point they stopped. I looked down and we weren't recording, and I was like, I know I started earlier, so yeah, here we go. All right, on the clock. Okay. So we good? We're good. So here we go. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another, I don't know, bile-filled episode of Monday Night Magic.
2020 filled.
That's what I said.
Yep.
2020 equals bile.
Quite synonymous.
Now I forgot what I was saying.
Number 698.
698.
Chewie, Squee, Cluze.
Yes. I am Chewie. That one is Squee.
Sure.
That one over there is Cluze.
Hey,
And Cluze just resubbed.
that's
job,
right.
With that, no, it's not called that anymore. Prime Gaming.
That's worse.
It really is.
It's worse.
I think they're trying. I bet that that's the start of a whole new branding thing. They're gonna either lose the Twitch name or they're gonna start something called Prime Gaming.
Probably.
That's gonna be like freaking Google Stadia or something. But let's hope not, because
Based on the crippling success that was Google Wave, we too can make a stupid branding choice.
Oh man, now I miss Google Wave.
You're
Of
the
course you
only
do.
one.
So yeah, we're actually recording an episode before 3 weeks pass, but nothing happened until today.
And then it happened.
Admittedly,
And yeah, then it happened. The
that's pretty typical for whenever new sets come out. So
the fecal material hit the spinning metal blades.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in, shall we?
poopy thing go in, poopy thing come out.
Indeed. So first up is today's BNR update, where in standard they banned Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. You know, the thing that's been a
thing
problem in the format for
going to be
actual months
banned.
now.
That which should not have been printed.
I mean, one of the things that should not have been printed.
Right.
Yes.
Amongst the things that should not have been printed.
It has chains on it in the card. What were the odds of it not getting banned?
Look, it's an eldritch horror. Just look at it.
What are those old giants?
Buh. So yeah, that's the news. Now that's not all the news.
It's the big news.
Well, I mean that's not all the news about this.
Oh yeah.
They banned the Elder Titan, but that's all they banned. So here's a screenshot of the results of a Star City event that just happened over the weekend. As you can see, we're looking at the top 21. I think all 21 are on screen. Yeah. So this is the top 21. Do you see a trend here?
I do.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question.
What is your question?
Well, I mean, I have many questions. What's today's date?
9/28.
September the 28th. Okay, just checking. Zendikar Rising released when?
Friday, I think.
Yeah, so that puts today 3 days into this format,
Yeah,
and we have a banning.
yeah,
Hey, it's important that you get your bands in as you rotate things. It's just more fun that way.
yeah. But yeah, for those of you listening in audio form, third place in this top 21 was a Gruul Adventures deck. Literally, the other 20 places are 4-color Omnath.
Can we just say that Teamer Adventures is 3-color Omnath on principle?
So, like, that...
Yeah. 19 of the 21 decks are 4-color Omnath.
Oh, look, in fourth place. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Fourth place was Teamer Adventures.
Fourth place
yeah.
is Teamer Adventures. And the other
Yeah.
19 of 21, excuse me, my bad, are 4-color Omnath.
Format is wide open, baby. You can play any 4-color Omnath deck you want.
Yeah.
True. You could go with the one that won, or the one that came in second, or the one that came in 5th through 21st. So many options.
Now,
Except now you can't.
well,
well,
yeah. I mean,
no,
you
no.
can.
The general consensus is that the Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath ban, while it has been a problem in Standard for the last several months, now that Omnath, Locus of Creation, and freaking Lotus Cobra are in Standard, losing Uro, this deck goes, shrugs, and keeps winning. That is the general consensus among pro players.
Yeah.
So they banned. So, okay, this is a thing. Oh, God, I can't believe this is about to come out of my mouth. This is a thing that people have been saying about bannings for a very long time. And that's. They just don't want to ban cards from the new set because they still need to sell packs. And every single time that comes out of people's mouth in the past with, older WotC, I said, you're an idiot, shut up. They care way more about the health of the format than they do about the tiny little bit of packs that this one card is selling.
Yeah.
But that was old WotC.
Historically accurate.
Yeah. But new WotC, the way, like, we are down on Wizards of the Coast every single episode of Monday Night Magic because Wizards of the Coast sucks these days. And I really believe there's a whole write-up here that I'm not even going to bother looking at. But I really believe that they didn't want to ban their massively pushed new card on the first Monday of a new set release because it sells packs. And I wish that I didn't feel that way, but WotC's track record over all of 2020 gives me no reason to doubt that sentiment at all. Not a one. And that sucks. I don't want to be like, WotC just wants your money, but WotC just wants your money.
I think for me it was when the Oko format loomed badly for so long before they finally banned Oko.
Yup.
And I think that was kind of the line in my mind of we're not going to ban the problem card, we're going to stick it out while this is still selling. And now everything in light of that just sort of lines up with it.
So I would like to argue against either of you.
Okay.
I really would. Because
Go
it
for it.
would be... Well, see, that's the problem. I'd like to. I'm not sure that I can, is the problem. I mean, in the past, okay, so a couple of things. In the past, several things that I've argued for. One, WotC is a company and needs to make money, right? And I know that a lot of people are down on that concept, but if WotC doesn't make money, WotC can't make more Magic. So you do want them to succeed as a company. However, other things I've noted in the past, you often see that. Here's another thing that I have argued in the past. You kind of have this choice, and I don't want to portray it as you only have these two choices, but they're the two easiest paths forward. You have make cards that are safe and will not break formats, and you get a boring format, but nothing's broken. Or make cards that are pushed and you run the risk of breaking formats and having to do bannings and ending up with completely stagnant, homogenous, standard. And it's been argued in the past, even by me, I believe, that you'd rather that they push a little bit and ban when they need to than just be boring all the time.
Yeah.
But in the past, what we've seen is a pendulum, right? So the format will swing one way with a set or two that's pushed a little too hard, and formats get a little, like I said, homogenous, and then it swings back with you have a slightly boring set that nothing's over. The power, there's an ebb and a flow to the power level.
It's your Miriam to Kamigawa back to Ravnica.
Yeah. This is like if you're watching the pendulum and it swings over to the power side, and then you're like, oh, it's going to swing back. And it just keeps going. And that is troubling, is the way I would describe that.
Maybe they're trying to swing it all the way or up and over.
Oh, so they're doing the thing on the swing set where you always felt if you pumped your legs hard enough, you could get the swing to go all the way around?
Yeah, and then you do, and you end up the Inside Out Boy or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that his name?
Inside Out Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I'm good. There's a reference for you. Go look that up.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a real thing. I was starting to make, and you just jumped on it before me.
My bad.
We're on the same page on that one.
So, yeah, I don't... Look, I just looking at these cards. Okay, just looking at... Can you mouse over some of these cards for us, Chewie?
I mean, which one?
Well, let's start with Uro.
Okay.
Uro. Titan of Nature's Wrath. This is a card that I don't understand how you can read all of the text on this card and and think that this is okay to print.
Wait a minute.
Cluze, it's blue and has a 3 converted mana cost. That has never hurt Magic.
Chifuji just resubbed for the 20th month and said, "Holy crap, Inside Out Boy."
You're welcome.
So, yeah.
But I mean, look at this. For 3 mana, you get 3 life, draw a card, and you accelerate.
Yeah.
Even if you never do anything else with this card.
Yeah.
Even if there was not a 6/6 for 4 stapled to it.
Yeah.
That also lets you gain 3 life and draw a card and accelerate.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't wrap my head around how this card got printed. And it is a problem and will be a problem in historic, in modern, in vintage, in everything. It will be a problem in every format it is allowed to exist in. But that's not the card. That's not the card that was actually what's insane is that's not really the card that was a problem in Standard.
I mean, it has been for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, we were troubled by it, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, let's ban something. But now take a look at Omnoth.
Yeah. He's somewhat ridiculous.
So 4 mana in 4 colors. And there are times when this kind of card is hard to cast. There are formats when this would have been hard to cast. This is not the format where this is hard to cast, right? You want to run a 4-color deck? Oh, we got the lands for you. We've got some tri-colored lands. We've got lands that are spells, so you can just go ahead and run those whenever you want.
We got some ampersands. We got some plus signs.
We don't quite have. We don't quite have, the full suite of fetches, sure, but still. We've got cards to support this. We got Cultivate. We've got Evolving Wilds. We've got a Lotus Cobra. Oh, Lotus Cobra. Oh, you damn little snake! Look at you. Look at you. With landfall, add 1 mana of any color to power your 4-colored decks.
Yeah, man.
And then Omnath gets these triggered abilities, one of which replaces the mana with which you cast Omnath. So it's not going to be a problem. As long as there's nothing that you can do with a whole bunch of mana. At all. Right.
Yeah, so
I can't think of a damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time in this game where you could just pass the turn and burn, but turns out that's not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, suffice it to say, cards are all designed to do the thing they're doing. The thing that they're doing is being done. The thing that's being done is bad because it's better than everything else that can be done. And this has clearly always been the plan, or they would not have been made this way.
Yep.
10th
Tech in chat just said, who looked at Siege Rhino and went, we have to go deeper?
A sick individual. I'm largely of the mindset that most of the last few years of Magic the Gathering have been, let's print things that get banned so that we have a lot of hype and have an excuse to shake up the format halfway through without having to release more cards. We're still going to release more cards, but if we do a banning, then we get to shuffle it.
Did they end the Future League and not tell us?
Well, I think now it's just play design.
Yeah, they have a different team that does this.
And clearly play design is just top-notch work these days.
Does anyone actually... Do we know anyone on the play design team? Are there people on the play design team?
We did at one point. I don't know if they're still on it.
I know Melissa DeToro was on it for a while,
yeah.
Or I think, wasn't she? Was she play design?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
She was the one who wrote the original article about it, I think.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Like, when they started banning cards, they're like, okay, what we're doing isn't working. We're going to do play design team. And then they continued to release cards that had to be banned. So, like, we sort of looked the other way for a while because we know this stuff is built with a time lag. But it kept happening. So, yeah.
Well, according to the MTG Wiki, we have a list of people who are on play design. So, presumably, these people are actually on play design. So the team still exists.
I suspect play design is giving all kinds of warnings that are just not being heeded.
Now, that's actually a good possibility. I don't want to heap hate on these folks because I don't know what the politics inside of Watson look like.
I am. They understand the game way better than I do. I believe in their ability to find these problems because they're really obvious and not just in hindsight.
Like, yeah, and I think I'll also mention that there's a really good chance that they have been saving us from terrible things all along and we just haven't noticed.
My suspicion is that there's a calculation made for we're willing to tolerate this amount of bad, and then we'll just ban it if it doesn't work out. Because most of the best decks to pop out over the last few years, and definitely correct me if I'm misremembering this, but I feel like we find the best decks within a few weeks of the format coming out now because they are kind of obvious, and then they stay the best deck until something gets banned.
I mean, not only because they are kind of obvious, but because of the digital nature of Arena, it becomes obvious super fast.
Yeah. Like, we used to do the thing of, like, the first few weeks, it's going to be aggro red decks, and then about a month in, we'd get a PTQ, or a real Pro Tour, I guess, and that would be where the real archetypes come from, and then every, 3 or so weeks after that, someone would surprise us with, like, a, key meta choice, but here they've got it, like, almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change until something gets banned.
I don't think it's quite that bad, but
admittedly, like, now that we don't have
much accelerated compared to,
it's harder to compare to.
It's much accelerated compared to any time ever in Magic's history ever. Yeah. Because right now, the only way to play, at least in this country, is Arena.
Yeah.
I'll also say that for those who may not have been around for a while, if you're new to all this, it is a very bad sign when you have to ban things in Standard. And it's super ultra bad when you have to ban things in Standard 3 days into new set rotation.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad sign anymore if it's the, they're pushing things and something was a little out of whack. But this is not that.
Banning on the same level that we used to. Like, Jace Mind Sculptor and Stoneforge Mystic were massive mistake bans. And, like, that was a big deal. And we got that. And then when we had, like, the Treasure Cruise kinds of stuff coming up and, like, the other formats. Okay, well, that was designed for one format and then way too good another format. So we sort of got it.
Yeah.
But these are just straight up the, you know, the big splashy card of each set eventually gets banned, and it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
And it's happened so often that we kind of expect it now. Like, we used to just sort of roll our eyes when we saw a B&R list, and we assumed that maybe it was going to be something in, like, modern. Like, now it's just like, oh, I wonder what they're banning this time. Probably something in standard. And then you look at the deck list and you see the same deck, like, 19 out of 21 times. Like, yeah, probably something in standard.
Probably.
It's like playing rock, paper, scissors, but it's really just playing rock, paper. And it's just like, in a no scissors format, you kind of have a right choice and a wrong choice.
Also, we would love to tell you that this was the major brouhaha today, that this was all anybody talked about.
I would love to say that, yeah.
No.
There's one more thing here at the bottom. It says, I'd like to emphasize that for this B&R change, our focus was primarily on standard and historic, which just rotated a second ago, by the way. Standard did anyway. Not rotated, but just had a new set added a second ago. With an eye for the upcoming 2020 season grand finals, changes to other formats, if needed, will be included in future updates.
Wait, did standard not just rotate?
Wait, did it?
Yes, fall.
Yeah.
Okay, so it did just rotate. Wait, it is fall. Holy crap, it's almost October.
Yeah, afraid so. It feels like it's still March, but it's not.
It's like the second year of March 2020. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's okay, I was right the first time. It did just rotate, and already they're banning a card.
I mean, admittedly, if you're going to ban a card, doing it around rotation is probably the least disruptive time to do it, but it would have been better to do it in advance.
By not printing some of these, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the over-under on how long until Omnath gets banned?
Is Omnath on the face of any upcoming products? Do we know about Secret Lair broken? Because I think that's going to be our deciding factor.
Ugh, it's just terrible. One person. Oh, we get 3 to 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month in chat.
I'm waiting for Secret Lair Nephilim to come out with Omnath, and that'll be like as soon as they're done taking pre-orders before it ships. That's when it'll happen.
Oh, well before it ships, because
yeah.
shipping is.
Yeah, they keep selling them, but they're not bothering to ship them.
I mean, if people keep buying them.
Yeah, well, Magic players are by and large stupid. So, hey, let's talk about things that Magic players shouldn't buy, but they will.
Yeah.
Because as Cluze said, we would love to tell you that this was the biggest issue in today's Magic news, but no, it's not. So a new Secret Lair was announced today. It's coming out on October 4th. And it's The Walking Dead. Yep. Now, this one is going to be slightly different. Instead of being 24 hours, it's going to be available from the 4th through the 12th for pre-order.
Yeah.
Which is... Let's see here. October... So from Sunday to the following Monday. So at least it's not that 24-hour nonsense, but it gets worse. So,
well, okay. Let's start with the good.
It's not a 24-hour window.
Right. So there's that. Other things that are good. If you're a fan of both Magic the Gathering and The Walking Dead, we have found the niche product for you. It's a tie-in. There's probably a good overlap between fans of one and fans of the other. I'm sure there are lots of Magic players who enjoy The Walking Dead. I'm sure those people exist.
I mean, I used to love The Walking Dead.
So that's
a long time ago.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
And you used to love Magic a long time ago.
I did. I remember those days fondly.
And hey, in the past, secret lairs have been, stuff that if you like them, great. If you don't buy them. They've been the kind of thing that it's like extra bling, like it's cards that we'd seen before. Cards. There was one that was all Thalia. It was Oops all Thalia. You remember that one?
I do. Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's
opportunities to get new, neat art of cards that you could
yeah,
acquire already.
yeah. To personalize the things that you were doing
Yeah.
in new and interesting ways.
While I rail on the business of secret lairs, what's in them is fine. Because they're just fancy versions of existing cards.
Has been.
Well, yeah. For all the ones that have been sold up to now, they're just fancy versions of existing cards. And while I hate that they're catering to people with stupid amounts of money to burn during a global pandemic when so many people in this country are without income.
And when the FOMO is just wired in.
And it relies heavily on predatory FOMO business practices. But we've gone off on that so many times in the past. You probably know that by now.
We're probably complaining about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they were always just reprints of existing crap. They just were. And that's all they were. Despite awful business practices and whatnot. They were just reprints.
So can we do a dramatic reading? Can I go ahead and just read this first paragraph and you can stop me when we hit the problem?
Sure.
Okay. Secret Lair. I assume it's Cross is the way we should read this. Secret Lair Cross the Walking Dead
Who knows?
will be available for pre-order October 4th through 12th with the cards to be printed and shipped after the pre-order concludes. That means if you want them, you're guaranteed to be able to order the drop, but they won't stick around forever. The cards included in this very special Secret Lair drop will be completely new to Magic, depicting the iconic characters of the long-running and critically acclaimed TV series. These are mechanically unique cards that will be legal.
What was that?
Yeah, these are mechanically unique cards that will be legal in Eternal formats.
Wait, what was that?
Legal in Eternal formats.
So...
wait, there's more. There's more. Hold on. Commander players especially should look forward to bringing their favorite characters from The Walking Dead to life on the tabletop.
Okay, for one, you can't tell Commander players what they should and should not be looking forward to, because Commander players look forward to everything.
This is true. This is true, but it does mean that you can play these cards in a sanctioned Commander game.
Well, maybe. We'll get to that later.
Well, yeah, okay, you're right. Maybe.
So, let's break this down. When they say mechanically unique cards, what that means is new cards.
Yep.
These are not reprints.
Reskinning an old card with Godzilla. These are new cards.
It's here. Let's just show them. They're both right here in the Star City article. We have Michonne, Ruthless Survivor, and Negan, the Cold-Blooded.
Yeah, I don't know who either of those people are, but
I know Michonne. I stopped watching and reading before Negan showed up, so I don't know. But apparently he's a bad guy.
Fair.
But remember the Godzilla cards? How there was another name right here below the name that was a real Magic card, so that they could print non-Godzilla versions, which they did of all of them, but the pre-order, the box. What was he? The buy a box.
Yeah.
These don't have that.
Nope.
You notice that? There's no other name here.
It's true.
And also, the art on these depicts the actors from the show.
Yeah. That right there is the comedian.
Is that the guy that played Negan, really?
Yeah. The guy who played the comedian in the Watchmen movie was the guy who played Negan.
I can't remember his name now, but he was in a really good horror movie.
Yeah.
With a box. And
now,
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, thank you, yes.
There were some comments
He's hot. What?
there were some comments on the Twitters about this, because I mean, a lot of people were up in arms, and some of you were probably the people up in arms, but some of you may be folks like someone who I had a Twitter conversation with, who was like, I don't get it. What's the big deal? These cards aren't all that great. I don't understand why everybody's all so pissed. Okay, here's the thing to understand. The stuff in Secret Lairs, in these drops, these FOMO, limited time, this is the only place to buy them drops.
Oh, by the way, FOMO, in case you aren't
yeah.
aware, is the fear of missing out, which is something that lots of, marketing people, no offense, Squee, use to make you buy things.
It's the strongest sales tactic in history.
Yeah, it's really good at what it does, which is really bad. But anyway, the Secret Lair drops up until now have basically been here is a new art for a card that already exists, or here is themed art. These cards all go together for cards that exist, but they were all cards that existed, right? Then we came to the Godzilla ones, and the Godzilla ones were kind of cards that existed, but they were essentially like, the way I think of them are like sanctioned alters. They were an alternate treatment of what was still essentially a Magic card, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There have been
the original card, and it's the same thing.
Yeah. So there have been precedent for things that are well outside the scope of the Magic multiverse from a lore perspective, but cards that were tie-ins. Like there were some Transformers cards that were made. There were some My Little Pony cards that were made. You know, other Hasbro properties that were tied into Magic, but they were done as like special like box sets that you could buy at like San Diego Comic-Con, those sorts of things. Hasbro PulseCon ? I don't remember what it's called.
What, you mean HasCon?
HasCon. But all of those were silver bordered, which meant, you could play them with your house rules in your Commander game, but they were not tournament legal in any way. So things that Magic did not do with Secret Lair drops up until now. They didn't make brand new cards in Secret Lair drops that you couldn't get any other way. And they didn't make stuff from outside the Magic fantasy setting that were tournament legal. They have crossed both of those lines here. Like just blown right over those lines is what they've done. And they did it so nonchalantly, like it ain't no thing. Like it's just what? Why are you guys all upset? We don't get it. It's someone somewhere had to make the decision. These are not silver bordered. Someone somewhere had to make the decision. These don't have a Magic name underneath them. I don't know who it was who was responsible for that. I don't know why those decisions were made. I have guesses, but they're all just wild speculation. But I don't like either one of them. And judging from the responses on social media, lots of other people don't either. I have not seen a single bit of defense about this. I've seen outrage. I've seen a little bit of apathy, but I haven't seen anyone who felt that this was a good idea. And I think it's a terrible idea, an absolutely terrible idea. It flies in the face of so much of years of Magic design and Magic. I'm going to say WotC policy is what I'm going to say. And I find it all very upsetting. I'm troubled.
It sets a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
I mean, we're now setting ourselves up for whatever else they want to cross promote in the future.
Yeah, pick a thing.
Yeah, Evan Irwin, I can't believe I'm about to agree with something Evan Irwin tweeted. Because I hate agreeing with anything Evan tweets, because Evan is kind of tweet first and use his brain later. But Evan tweeted that this, I'm going to extrapolate a little from what he said, but this sets us on the road to where anyone that wants to throw some money at Wizards can get a Secret Lair drop branded with their characters, and Wizards could potentially, in the absolute darkest timeline, just become another place to throw out your brand. You'll get your Happy Meal toys, you'll get stickers on bananas, and you'll get a Magic Secret Lair drop.
That will be tournament legal. I sure hope that the dump truck full of money from AMC was a really big dump truck full of money, because
I don't think it was.
My God, there are so many people who are just, that sound you hear. Do you hear it? Just tilt your ear. Do you hear that sound? That sound you hear is a camel's back breaking. That's what you hear.
So, sort of my take on this when it was linked over to me earlier today was that I was sent the cards, like, the Michonne card, and I looked at it and I was a little skeptical because, like, the way that it's worded doesn't match, like, the templating that I'm used to, and so that was kind of confusing. Like, the Walker tokens thing was like, we would normally say like zombies with a size or whatever, and that was weird. And that just sort of made me think it wasn't real. Like, I could understand there being an announcement and then all of the fan cards that people have been making for years popped up, but then it was real. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's weird. Like, I watched the show long enough to know who, like, both of these characters are, and yeah, the cards are very flavor appropriate to them, and that's cool. But I really don't like the fact that the company that has managed to sell my family members like 8 copies of Monopoly with different themes has now cracked open the case on being able to do this with Magic. Because I really don't want to see like Avengers and Justice League Magic cards or whatever other brands they think have synergy with this audience. But more to the point, like, if they just did those the same way they did the Godzilla stuff, I'd be like, cool. Neat.
Yeah,
agreed. But for everyone who was annoyed way back when the like Nexus of Fate thing happened, of like, here's the only way you can get this card and there's a chance it'll be relevant. Well, this is way worse than that.
By leaps and bounds.
And anyone who was upset then and isn't upset about this really confuses me.
So after the outrage began, one of the things that WotC has been very quick to point out is, look, these are new cards, but we reserve the right to print essentially identical cards with Magic names in Magic themes. We'll totally do that. Okay, but here's the problem with that. Suppose that one of these cards, and sure, neither of them look like much now, but a set from now, 2 sets from now, another card comes out that combos well with one of these, and suddenly it's the card you need. It's the card everybody wants. Everybody's run it in their commander decks, or everybody's running it in some historic or some vintage deck or legacy deck.
Not historic. It's not an eternal format.
Okay, sorry. Your legacy or your vintage decks, they decide to print more because, hey, okay, sure, the AMC tie-in is done, but we can totally make a new one. We'll call it whatever we want to call it. We'll just make that thing. Here's the problem. You've just made a functionally identical card. That's not the same thing as a reprint. I can now run 8 copies of it in my legacy deck, not 4. I can now run 2 copies of it in my commander deck, not 1. This is not the same thing. We had 2 different paths to choose here. We went, okay, do you want path A, where we give it a Magic name, or path B, where we give it a silver border? Which would you like to do? And somebody went, how about choice C?
I think it's going to reach an interesting point if any of these are actually good enough and they do their print more thing later, that someone will be sitting down at a table in the future and they'll have a pithing needle in their hand and they look at their opponent and try to decide how much money they had in 2020. Because that'll actually be the thought process. It'll be straight up like, well, one of these is useless because they'll probably have one of each in their deck. And I have to name the right card, and that sucks. And they'll never print this version of them again, because even if they didn't have like the whole Secret Lairs nonsense, these are trademarks that aren't theirs. They're not going to double back to that.
Yeah, the character names and the art
are
totally trademarked things, and even if they were to just give it new art, no, they can't because the name is trademarked. You can't.
Yeah, it's locked in. Like, I thought when they were describing it to me earlier, since I hadn't read it yet, that these were going to get generic names, kind of like we do for any dual lands that they expect to reprint in the future, like non-setting specific names. Like, instead of, like, Negan the Cold-Blooded, I was thinking it was going to be like
Vicious Hooligan or something.
Charismatic Cult Leader or something.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways to do this that we all know who you're talking about.
Dude with bat.
Yeah, like Jerk what ended a cliffhanger. There's plenty of things that you can do with it, but no, they have their names and their art and the likenesses of real human beings. There's too many problems. So yeah, really and truly, if you think you're ever going to want these, you've now got a week to buy them. And there will be
Wizards knows that.
And they're aware, and that's part of the calculus.
Now this isn't all of the cards. I don't actually know how many cards there are. I didn't care enough to read it.
I don't remember. I think it said it somewhere, but
yeah, I don't know where, but they have at least 2 or 3 other places. Let's see now. Follow 3 other places. So I think there's going to be 5.
That sounds right.
Right, because 2 came out today. 1 from Hollywood Reporter, 1 from GameSpot. But Secret Lair may release one. Day 9's probably going to release one, and GameSpot's going to release one. So there's at least 4, maybe 5.
I like when you get 5 of them and you give 2 to GameSpot.
Wait. No, apparently that first GameSpot isn't supposed to be GameSpot. It's supposed to be
Entertainment Weekly.
Except the link says GameSpot and goes to this card.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Star City wrong?
Who knows? There's bad communication on this, like always too. But
well, this just goes right to the homepage of Entertainment Weekly. Good job, Star City.
$5 round. Yeah, like I'm not surprised, because it feels like once they started going down the Secret Lair path, it was always going to be pushing the envelope a little more until people stopped buying them. And this is just the latest push.
I seem to remember saying something to the effect of, if they ever start printing new cards, that's going to be a major problem.
I mean, that's accurate. And here
we are. And hey, look, it didn't even take a year.
This is just the 10th one, right?
No, there have been more than that, haven't they?
I don't know.
Let me go find out. Stand by.
That's a Secret Lair X The Walking Dead, not Secret Lair 10: The Walking Dead.
Right. I feel like I read 10th, though, but I don't know. There's probably been more than 10. Like, I know they released a whole bunch of them at the beginning of the year, and then I lost track.
Let's see now. Are we going to include do the Theros stargazing ones all count as one? Because there were multiple volumes in it.
I have no idea how any of that counts.
It doesn't matter. I was just, whatever number of them this is, it didn't take a year. Here we are, precedent set. Looking forward to Magic the Gathering Secret Lair Batman, where I can get 6 Robins.
27th.
I'm sorry, how many?
27th.
When was the first one?
The first one was December 3rd, 2019, so 6 years ago.
Of course, that's counting all, like, the 5 at once as 5.
When they did the
it is
5 or 6, yeah.
It is.
Because they were technically...
They are separate, distinct products, yeah.
Yeah. Because there were several cases where it was like, and then we'll do, like, a bunch at once, but regardless of how many of them are.
As chat is currently pointing out, there's a bunch of them that still haven't even shipped to people that bought them months ago.
Yeah.
So the other weird thing with Secret Lairs is that, do you two in the chat remember the point in time when Cafe Press existed?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
doesn't it still?
Probably. I don't know. Like, when it was new and people cared.
Okay.
Like, the dawn of, like, 2001-ish era, where the ability to just get any picture on your computer printed on a single run t-shirt if you wanted it for, like, a lot of money, and then you could leave the design up and slowly make a small amount of money off of other people. And, like, it became very, very quickly this thing of because there's no cost until people actually buy it. It's like print on demand.
Mm-hmm.
People just flooded the internet with crap. Like nowadays, you just scroll through Facebook and you see like obviously like bootleg shirts. Like I promise you, like Miyazaki did not make money from me buying this shirt. Like stuff like that all the way through. I feel like we've just hit that point with these secret layers where like they don't have to be great because they're not printing them till they get your money, or they're printing a small number and then they'll print the rest of them when they get your money. And I feel like that's setting up a lot of
Oh my God, you're right.
scenarios where they can just throw everything at us and just see what people buy and only print as they need to because they already have the infrastructure to do it. And
the cost of paying an artist is probably worth it even if it flops, because one of the others that they paid an artist for will make an ass ton of money.
Yeah, like they can scattershot it because again, all of this is running on FOMO. There are no consequences to mistakes until we stop buying them.
It's even right here in the logo.
Yep, miss a drop.
Miss a drop. Gone. It's gone. I just saw that and I'm like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadly serious.
I hate you.
I hate me too, but I could not resist. It was right there.
I see this as a scenario where they can just start free licensing out to whatever.
So, you know, a thing that I have talked about in the past is one of the reasons that I don't like these sorts of products is not just the FOMO. It's not just that. It's the fragmentation, right? If you're trying to explain to someone where to get cards to play your game, it used to be relatively straightforward. It used to be relatively simple. You had the two choices. You could buy booster packs, or you could buy singles from a third-party retailer. Those are the two things that you can do. You can trade for them too, but I mean, if you actually just want to take cash monies and turn them into cards for this game, that's what you did. But then they started to make auxiliary products. And some of those were great. Some of those were fine. I understand that they have their niche. They have their audience. Are you okay over there, Chewie?
Excuse me.
Like they started making commander decks. Okay, I get it. We now have a specific product that is for a specific market, a big market. There are lots and lots of commander players the world over. I get it. We needed something for them. And it was a place that they could now print cards that wouldn't break standard, but that were kind of needed or kind of wanted in Commander. And I get that. But then you had a way for cards to now exist that look like regular Magic cards, that have the frame of regular Magic cards, that have a set symbol. Maybe it's a different set symbol, but there have been so many set symbols, who knows? But that you could easily come across a card, and the only way to tell that it's legal in whatever format it is that you're trying to play it in is you just have to know. Now, you're like, oh, but we know. Well, yeah, that's because you're invested players. I'm talking about your new player just joining the game and what they're going to do. And then we go to a stage where we now have multiple kinds of boosters where you can get cards. And the cards will look very different depending on which kind of booster they're coming from. There are frames that are completely different from the booster that it comes from. There's artwork that's completely different from the booster that it comes from. As someone who used to judge, the amount of brain space that now needs to be taken up with, I glance at this card and can tell that it's legal or not, is really getting crazy. Then along comes Secret Lairs. And in Secret Lairs, it may be completely different artwork, like art styles that you've never seen on a Magic card ever before, that doesn't fit with any set, doesn't fit with any genre we've ever seen before. And that's neat from a personalization standpoint, but it is, again, a fragmentation of how the game works, like where you get your game pieces from. And now here we've got a Secret Lair that not just looks different, but if I didn't know that this product existed and someone came to a tournament playing one of these cards, I would think that it was fake. Right? It doesn't look like, it doesn't have the name of, it doesn't fit flavorfully. The identity of the brand at this point, of Magic, the identity of the brand, you could say, oh, it's gotten so expanded. I would say it's gotten so diluted that it's not diluted, not diluted. I'm sorry if that didn't come out right. Uh, it's it's vexing, is what it is, and I don't care for it at all, like even a little bit. And it's not just that I'm old and I need you to get off my lawn. It's not just that I don't like change. It's that it's layering complexity upon complexity upon complexity until you need a damned. We do a show about magic and we can't keep up with all of the new stuff.
I just imagine what it would be like if someone sat down and their opponent had a Walking Dead card and some of the Prime Slime cards.
Yeah.
Mixed in with their other cards. I would kind of stare at them really slowly and wonder if they just bought packs of random things at the front of the store and then claimed they were all magic cards.
Right.
Pretty sure that's a Marvel masterpiece in your hands there, sir.
Oh, yeah, and then there are the masterpieces. Forgot all about those.
Pretty sure that's Ken Griffey Jr.
And again, I do get, somebody in the chat had pointed out, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And I get that. I totally get that. But
I think that argument goes out the window once you allow something to be played competitively.
If you can't explain quickly and easily how to get the pieces you need to play the game, it quickly becomes too complex. There is I wasn't kidding earlier. There is a straw that breaks the camel's back. There is a mile too far. There is a line that can be crossed. And I feel like we're not just wandering near the line. We're just like, we saw the line and we just started sprinting. Just go, baby. Just run, Forrest, run. Soon, Forrest Gump cards.
So I actually like what Pharmacist Judge mentions about Magic just becoming a rule set with the loss of aesthetic, and is the weird corollary to this entire conversation we're having right now. If they did decide to do the Monopoly thing and they just released like a super small, like, you know, pre-bought pack or whatever of just Walking Dead cards that you play with the Magic rules, and they can only be played with each other, and like a side self-build, like, you know, drafting deck building game, completely unrelated to actual Magic, but it was just the mechanics, so that's easy to pick up for Magic players. I don't think I would be bothered by that. I think that would be like, well, that's neat. It's kind of complex for a throwaway game, but I could see that being an angle that you could take if this is what you wanted to do, and it not get in the way of everything else. You just don't call it Magic.
Can I put on a tinfoil hat?
Oh God.
I believe in you.
Is that the end game? Is that what the Hasbro overlords have as the ultimate plan? Is that once they run out of ability to milk all of us for every Secret Lair drop that they can, that they just make it a branded rule set? And so this year, hey, what's the hot movie? We'll make a game for that. Here it is. It uses the Magic rules. It's Avengers the Gathering.
I could see them doing something like that using Arena.
Avengers the Assembling.
Avengers the Assembling. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah, I could see them using that digitally, because that also makes things way more accessible. If they wanted to just do like Arena : whatever and not even call it Magic, I think they could do that.
So you're saying, so when Pharmacist Judge said their Magic is becoming just a rule set, this weird thing that you guys are completely speculating on, by the way, everybody, just in case, so we don't hear crap later, they're turning Magic into a platform instead of the product itself.
I think that's an angle to take it, regardless of whether or not it's what they're doing. And I think it would make more sense than what they're doing here. Like if my goal were to pitch something to WotC, that's what I would be pitching. But I think right now the problem is that they're crossing too many streams. Also, they'll do a Ghostbusters set, and that'd probably be pretty cool. But They're crossing too many streams.
Yeah, but like Cluze said before, ideally these should have been silver bordered, or they should have had non-AMC names underneath them so they could be reprinted as real Magic cards, but they didn't do either, and they made them tournament legal. And what?
Yeah.
And the precedent isn't, well, if Negan is too good, then people are going to need it. It's that if they keep doing this, they will screw up and print something that's too good in Legacy. They will. They will. They can't have Standard go 3 days without needing a ban. The day after, 3 days after a rotation, they will print something that's too good. And then it all goes to hell.
Yeah, because the whole buy a box promo thing, it took like 4 buy a box promos before they printed something that then saw actual Standard play.
No, it didn't take 4. It took 2.
Did it only take 2?
It was Wind Speaker and the
Sun
2 Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Then the next one was Nexus of Fate, wasn't it?
I thought there was at least one more in the middle, but it doesn't matter. It was, again, within a year. Go team. That's our turnaround.
Yeah.
It didn't take them long. And then the argument was always, well, there's more of them in circulation than of any of these other mythics. And I rolled my eyes then too. But this one's not even gonna have that excuse. There's a finite number.
For that one, it wasn't a limited print run. And this isn't a limited print run. It's just they're only gonna print as many as they need, and then they'll never print it again.
Yeah.
But the buy box thing was massively overblown by the community. By a long shot.
I think it was overblown now that I've seen it from a distance. At the time, I was way more offended by it. But I do think that I'm not going to look back on this the same way. I don't think that this is going to be... It's going to feel as overblown, because whether it's this one or the one 3 Secret Lairs from now or whatever, they're eventually going to mess something like this up.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't play competitive Magic, and that I don't really buy Magic product anymore, because I don't want to do that.
Speak up.
I'm glad I don't buy these things. And I'm glad I don't have to play with them.
Yeah. So yeah, here, as I had this on the screen a couple times earlier, Rosewater said, as Cluze said, they have the ability to print the Magic versions of these in future products, which still has the same problems that Cluze said. And even Sheldon Minery, the Commander Rules Committee, even tweeted out that that because emotions are high right now, they're not going to make a decision about legality or anything about these cards. But they're paying attention. And he says they're going to have something to say in the near future, certainly before the Secret Lair drop date. So before you can buy them, they will make their decision on whether or not it's legal in Commander, and you can house rule things no matter what the RC says, and you should, but if you're going to go to somewhere where the Commander ban list is in effect, you might not be able to play them. But they're going to make that decision before it comes out, thank goodness.
Yeah. You want to bet that they get at least one email from WotC?
They don't have anything to do with WotC officially, so...
They don't, but
I'm sure they might, but I don't know.
I'm not expecting them to be do this or else. I'm expecting there's going to be some amount of, hey, so...
We think it would be best if you did this.
It's a nice rules committee you got there. Be a shame if something were to happen to it.
When your promo page has that Commander Players Especially line, sure would be a shame if they said you couldn't. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a choice. I just expect it to be a choice with some weight behind it.
Also, there's another issue that I wasn't aware of because I don't know Negan. But apparently, and a minor content warning for the next few minutes, But apparently, you remember not long ago when Wizards of the Coast banned a bunch of old cards for being, insensitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Negan is a rapist.
Yeah. Sure is.
And he's on a magic card.
Yeah.
That's a magic card.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. That's...
I found that out today, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, there's more to this than just the business side of things and the card availability and all of that we've been talking about. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, look, right there on a magic card, grinning.
I hope
it's a magic
it was
card.
a really big dump truck full of money.
Look, 2020 Wizards of the Coast. It says it right there. So, yeah. Just saying. So, have we beaten...
Wizards don't know that?
I severely doubt that no one at Wizards knew that. So, have we beaten this dead zombie to death?
Twice.
Like, have we double tapped, cardio, all that good stuff? Oh, that's the wrong property. I'm sorry. How long until we get Zombieland 3 Secret Lair? Anyone?
I mean, there's a vehicle with a 3 on it. I believe in it.
Also, it was pointed out in our chat that because Michonne just says, when Michonne enters the battlefield, create 2 Walker tokens, and the card itself doesn't spell out what a Walker is.
That was the thing that made me think it wasn't a real card this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be specified in the tournament rules, therefore, or in the comp rules.
In the comp rules.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to have to make an entry in the comp rules specifically for this. Now, in my mind, you know how when they do promo versions of cards, sometimes the text box is a little shorter and a little less?
Sure.
I was thinking, well, this is just the promo version. And then I realized this is the only version.
It is, although the Oracle text may be longer, right?
That is true. It could be. And this is being treated as the promo version. But the fact that, like I said, it'll just be, the name will be Walker and it'll be a 2/2 type zombie. But the game doesn't know that just because it's what's printed on the token, which means they are going to have to add that to the comp rules probably.
Do you remember at the top of this story when I said, hey, let's take a moment and focus on the good parts?
Yeah, there weren't any.
I'm not sure that there are any.
No, WotC got a dump truck full of money, so that's the
WotC got a
part.
dump truck full of money, and
it's good for them. But
God bless them.
We've been saying all this year that it's clear who WotC is working for, and they're working for the bottom line. Now, it's always, it's a business, it's got to make money, but it doesn't have to make all the money.
And it doesn't have to make the money like this. And look.
Exactly.
I don't want anybody to be upset at any specific individuals at WotC. By and large, the people who you know and you interact with on social media, by and large, those people have a deep love of this game.
Yep.
They have the best interests of the game at heart. But
they're not in charge.
They're not actually in charge. There are decisions being made at higher pay grades than they're at, and they've got to clean up for it. And they're not going to come. You're not going to have Mark Rosewater come out and say, yeah, we didn't want to do this, but Hasbro made us. Even if it's true, Mark Rosewater is not going to say that.
Well, no.
Because it's literally Mark Rosewater's job to be excited about Magic and all the great things that it's doing, even when they're not great.
We need to go ask Scaff Elias instead.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to be angry at any specific individuals, just go straight for the CEO. Don't send him hate or harass him, but you can just be angry at him.
As noted, it's their prerogative to make money, but you're not under any obligation to like people. Like, they had to earn us liking them.
Yeah, and they've been pissing it away all year.
So you think when the dump truck did roll up and they popped the button and it lifted up and all the money fell out the back, there was a message under all of the money telling them to, like, ban a card? I think that's maybe how we got here with them, with today's banning. Because we know that's how it works.
There's probably a message that said, don't ban Omnath yet.
Yeah, it said ban Uro instead.
Yeah. I also feel like there might be a monkey's paw somewhere.
I think Monkey's Paw is the official sponsor of 2020.
Yeah.
And Monkey had like 80 middle fingers.
Somebody was like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could get a tie-in with one of those like popular streaming shows? Wouldn't that be awesome? And somebody went, yep, done. And they're like, who was that guy who had the like red suit and smelled slightly of sulfur? Who was that?
Evil Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right, so there is one more bit of news and another eye roll at WotC coming up.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for those.
So, are we good on this?
I think we're good. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good. So, because the new set came out and rotation happened and whatnot, hey, there's been an update to the tournament rules, the MTR, as it's colloquial. Can someone say that word for me? Colloquially. There we go.
Samaflange.
What the?
Samaflange.
Anyway. And yeah, so it's all just about the new stuff in the new set. Nothing else big going on really. Also, you'll see that it's on the homepage instead of on Toby Elliott's blog.
Go team.
Yeah. But I want to bring your attention to this. Section 3.5, Other Sections, Checklist Cards. Zendikar Rising has introduced a help card instead of a checklist card to represent double face cards. This section has been renamed to Helper Cards. Okay, so then there was a tweet from this person that says, tweeted at WotC Matt Tabak, who says, how should I call the cards used to represent a double face card? Substitute card or a helper card? And Matt Tabak replied, well, officially they're substitute cards. And this person, we'll say Alf, said, well, because over here it says this and over there it says that. And Toby Elliott was tagged, and he goes, as far as I was told, the official name was Helper Card. Tabak said it was changed from checklist card to substitute card in the Zendikar Rising update. Toby said, okay, I was told Helper was the replacement name. Someone else pointed out they were called Helper Cards in the Zendikar Rising release notes. And Tabak goes, yeah, it was changed after that document was written. So in the official tournament rules, they're terms that aren't right. Because some stuff got changed and nobody bothered to tell anybody else.
I just appreciate that we're looking at the difference between hamburger substitute and hamburger helper. Like,
wow, that is a massive difference. Because
like,
one of those is plant-based, and the other one is stuff in a box?
Yeah.
It's like cheese and pasta in a box, right?
Yeah.
But, like, it's just another example of, really, WotC? Get your stuff together.
Yeah. Like, they're not hurting anything. It's just more symptomatic of how bad the communication and how quickly things are getting dropped out without any form of review.
Yeah.
Which started about 2 years ago and has not gotten better.
Yeah. And, like, Chat is pointing out, nothing new, really. He used the wrong terminology. That happens all the time. Yeah, but this whole exchange here is something that shouldn't happen in a business that's run properly.
Yeah, and Pharmacist Judge, it's not just like literally the MTR, if you go look at it right now, uses the word helper card, even though it's wrong. It's not just the article. It's the actual published MTR, the PDF of the MTR that you can download right now is wrong.
Yeah, it's incorrect. Like it's not. Yeah, apparently this is a thing that wasn't clear because Cluze thought it was. He actually.
Yeah,
he got real quiet for a while.
And I'm like, oh yeah, it's in the article. They screwed that up. Somebody will edit it. It's fine. No.
Yeah, he got real quiet for a while in the pre-show odds and ends, and all of a sudden he goes, "Wait, it's in the MTR too." And I said, "Yeah." He went, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And like Bill said, it's not hurting anything. It's just yet another example of nobody seems to be doing their job properly all over the place at WotC. And not to throw shade at Tayback and Toby, but I'm throwing shade at Tayback and Toby and everyone else involved in this. It's just a little thing, but there's so many big things right now that just another little thing is like, really? Guys, come on.
Yeah, like I said, that sound you hear.
So, yeah. Again, just yet another example of... But oh well. That's all I got. Is that all you got?
I got headache drugs because this topic.
I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all we got.
Okay. Well, how about we wrap it up then?
Yeah. Oh, why? So, theoretically, like, Magic Online and Arena exist. Just letting you know. Moving on. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter at SqueeGoblinAbob. There's no I in Goblin because I think it might have been hiding in the wrong dump truck and did not get all the money. It will be missed. I have not tweeted in a bit. I've been work busy, and anytime I'm not working, I'm away from my computer or I'm specifically in a game playing stuff with Chewie and the group. So I've just been super neglectful of Twitter. Admittedly, Twitter is a miserable place to be in an election year anyway. So I don't really miss it as much as I should. But yeah, in terms of media consumption, I've been enjoying Lovecraft Country. I think it's probably the best TV show right now. I won't spoil any of it for anyone, but if you've got access to HBO, it's worth watching. I think they're about 7 episodes in. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's great. It's not for the squeamish, but it's great. I've also been watching season 2 of The Boys as it's come out. Also not for the squeamish. Also incredibly dark. Maybe I need to find something happy and simple.
Nah.
Do those things exist now?
I mean, theoretically, I could probably find something.
Dude, Avatar: The Last Airbender is on Netflix, so yeah, they exist.
Like, Animaniacs is coming back. I'll just wait for that.
Oh yeah, there's that.
That'll be nice. I hope Animaniacs doesn't come back like dark and gritty, because that would make me sad.
Zack Snyder does Animaniacs. No.
Oh, that would be so bad. Like, it would be like Yakko sings the parts of the body as they get broken. I don't want to watch that.
Starring Negan. Oh god.
Oh, no one wants that. Awful. Yeah, exactly like the show we don't talk about. But other than that, yeah, I started playing Xenoblade. That's fun. Been making my way through video games a little bit at a time, so that's cool. And I think that's about all I got right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to Cluze.
Hey, if you want to hear more from me, I'm on Twitter far more than I should be. You can find me there. I'm at Cluze, spelled just like it is in the show notes. Probably the most important thing that I will be telling you repeatedly for the next month is you should vote. It's extremely important.
You should make sure you're registered to vote.
We're about a month out now, so we're starting to hit deadlines where if you're not registered to vote, it's going to be too late real soon. Don't let it be too late. Take care of that. And take care of that now. and have a plan for how you're actually going to manage to vote. Either go into the polls or voting absentee. Check with your local rules, regulations, and laws, and make sure that you actually get your voice heard properly in this election because it's kind of a big deal. So do that. Also, we're coming into flu season, so get your flu shot. That's also super duper, like crazy important this year.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you should do that. Like, really. I know you might have put it off before and eventually got around to it. Let's be proactive on this one because it's important.
Yeah, we don't want a flu outbreak on top of a COVID outbreak.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be, man. Not where you want to be at all. Other than that, try and be excellent to each other. Like, seriously, we need it these days. And get enough sleep. That's probably good advice. Get enough sleep. Let's take it over to Chewie.
Hello, I'm Chewie. Have I been consuming any media? So we still do the weekly watch party here on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can totally link your Prime and Twitch accounts in order to join a watch party every Saturday night. We do those right here on twitch.tv/themanapool. And we watched usually 2 movies. This week we watched Labyrinth. Not Pan's Labyrinth. For some reason people keep thinking that whenever I say Labyrinth, like multiple people. Not the same thing. One of those is creepy and terrifying. The other one is David Bowie, his giant penis, and Muppets.
They're both creepy and terrifying, but in very different ways.
In very extremely different ways.
Don't accept food from either of them.
True. But we watched Labyrinth and The Secret of NIMH. So that was a good night. Next week, or I guess later this week, because it's Monday now. Wow. We're going to do a DreamWorks double feature. We're going to watch How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, and then we're going to watch Megamind, which I've never seen, and people in chat assured me that it's awesome and underrated. So we're going to watch those 2. It'll be great. I would say I'll try to get one of these 2 to join me, but they won't. So I'll have Steph probably. Steph is adorable.
That's the spirit.
I've been watching just lots of stuff because I'm finding it harder and harder and harder to be motivated to come in here and work. Well, up until earlier last week. For some reason, my brain space has not been in a sit here and do work place. It's been a, oh God, make it stop. Please distract me. So I go out to the living room and just watch stuff. So, like, for instance, earlier today, I watched The Witches. You guys remember that? I
remember the book.
The book was really good. The movie is also really good. I think
Excellent.
There's enough difference that I don't remember. Actually, it's been a long time since I read the book. But yeah, with Angelica Houston. I don't know how you say her last name. As the leader of the witches or whatever. It's really creepy, but it's a children's book and a children's movie. Because in the 80s, dark children's movies were fine. I don't know when or why we lost that, but we seem to have in recent decades.
I think it goes in cycles.
I guess. I just don't remember seeing anything that isn't like happy for children in a very long time.
I think the dark stuff now just goes over their heads until they look at it again when they're older.
I mean, it always did.
Yeah.
But, like, there were people in the chat who were like, I wonder if my kid is old enough to see this when we were watching Labyrinth. Like, how old's your kid? He's like 12. I'm like, yeah, your kid should probably have seen this already. Like,
I remember not the first time I saw Labyrinth, but Labyrinth was the first time that I saw something on the Disney Channel where someone was allowed to swear. Like, this is way back in
nice
premium channel Disney days when they didn't have commercials or anything.
Yeah.
It was like, it really stood out to me that someone was allowed to swear on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, because Hoggle says damn. Actually, a bunch of characters say damn in Labyrinth.
Yeah, she says damn in one of the last scenes, too.
Yeah, and then in the, and she was only like the character was only 14 and Jennifer Connelly was only 16 when that was being filmed. So, and in the song that's playing at the beginning, David Bowie even sings "It Hurts Like Hell," and at one point it repeats "Hurts like hell, hurts like hell, hurts like hell" like 4 times, and I was like, okay, David Bowie. But then his massive penis is in so many scenes, so like, Jesus.
Thanks,
there was a person in the chat, I think the same one who'd never seen it, who was like, I always thought people were exaggerating that part. And I was like, no, they are not.
Nope. He is not the Goblin Prince.
But anyway, also on Sunday, yesterday, I played Among Us for the first time. And I'm going to try to turn that into a semi-regular thing for the Manipool community. So join the Discord, and there's an Among Us channel down at the bottom. Jump in and help us figure out, play with us, because I really want to have a full crew of 10 to be able to play without having to rely on like other streamer like Cap and his wife and like 2 people that he brings with him. I want to be able to have all of us actually play together as a community without relying on outsiders. Not outsiders, but I don't want to have to, hey, could you bring a friend, because we don't have enough. Like, that sucks. So it's only $5, or it's free on mobile.
Yeah, and on mobile you can pay $2 just to get rid of the ads, and that's totally worth it. Do it.
Nice. But yeah, it's $5 on Steam. It'll run, I think, on a potato, like an actual potato. It is not very,
it runs on my ancient tablet.
Is your tablet ancient? Yeah, it runs on his ancient tablet.
Yeah.
And it's entirely too much fun. It's about lying to your friends about murdering your other friends.
Correct.
Or accusing your friends of murdering your other friends while they lie to you. It's so great. I didn't get the hype at all until I played it for the first time. And I was like, this is amazing. So, yeah. Which was yesterday. Played it for the first time. So, awesome. Anyway, so... yes, if you would like to help support what I do with all the streaming and the YouTube videos, I've got Among Us videos coming at some point. I've got a 5-hour stream I have to go through to find games to turn into YouTube content. So that's going to take some time, but as soon as I get them done, I will start putting them up. And also Mario 64 came out on the Switch, and I did one stream of it already. And that's going to go up on YouTube because it's one of my favoriteest games of all time ever. So... yay! Very excited. I can't wait to stream that again. Might do that on Wednesday. But anyway. Because it really is one of my favorite games ever. I beat it. I 100%ed it. I got 120 stars in Japanese on that stupid game. And then when the American version came out and the names of the stars told you how to get them, or there was a sign that told you what to do, I got pissed because I had to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Because, spoilers, I don't speak Japanese. That's Bill.
It's true.
Also, I was 15
You
at the
do
time.
a better job of naming Japanese players than you give yourself credit for, though.
I appreciate that. But I still can't read the characters.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that does not at all help you identify the star that is hidden within a wall on Thwomp's Fortress.
That one? You know how I found that one?
Through the credits?
Through the credits!
Yeah.
Because after you beat the game, it does like a fly-through of various stages, and there was just a star right there, and I'm like, what? And I had to go back, and like, I'm like butt slamming it, and nothing, and then I remember, there's a cannon down there! And it was an amazing moment. But anyway, you'll hear about all that on those videos. So, yay. But yeah, that's upcoming. I'm still working on the super secret project. At the moment, it's in roll around in my head mode still, with all the cobwebs and despair and everything else that's going on in the world. There's still the Legend of Zelda related project tumbling around in there, and I spend a lot of time going about it. So, still in there. Don't worry. Okay. So, yeah, with that, I'll be done. So, hey, you can go to patreon.com/themanapool, sign up to become a lifeguard. You know the drill by now. Let me thank the mythic lifeguards in whatever order this is. Hang on. Scroll to the top, stupid. ALK Alters, Backwards Logic, Connor Kennedy, Jason Doan, Danny Liao, Gothic Man, The Big Spender, Jeff Spencer, Casey, Cody Buckowing, Aleph Cat. Aleph Cat is also an excellent Among Us player because he's English. So you automatically want to believe everything he says while simultaneously not believing anything he says.
It is the dual power.
Yeah. Where did I stop? Aleph Cat. Lance Delicious, Andrew Hunt, John Morris, Jason Kaus, The Beastfather, Aaron Goodwine, PJ McMullen, Timu Helazharyu. He gave me permission to call him by his handle, but I'm not gonna. Beardy Man, Jake Jansons, John Parker, Scuzzo, Kim Ho, and Al. Yay! And one of those people who wishes to remain nameless because they're a very private individual has just informed me that their girlfriend is pregnant. So big congrats to you, mystery person.
Yeah, congrats.
Congratulations.
It's not me.
Mysterious.
I wasn't on that list, and I don't have a girlfriend, and she's not pregnant. Anyway. Cluze has to pee a lot. He might be pregnant.
No, I just drank gobs of water when I got home from work because I had to lecture late in the day and I had on a mask and I couldn't drink anything while I talked. So when I got home, it was just drink.
Have you had a pregnancy test?
No.
Then
but
you
I
don't know for sure.
Don't think. No, I'm pretty certain that I can't become pregnant.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up any painful medical things. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I wasn't trying to be.
Oh, good. Anyway, okay, we're going to stop now. So this has been Monday Night Magic number 698. Next episode, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fairly large announcement to be made. So be sure you show up for the next episode, whenever that is. When there's news, we will cover it. So
I'm given Monday.
2 or 3 weeks. That hurt.
Yeah,
Rule one.
No, I'm not dying. I just accidentally.
Okay, then
hurt
rule
myself.
2.
What?
There's no swearing on.
That's not Magic. Rule 2 is don't be a dick.
Oh, rule 3.
Ow. Okay, anyway, that hurt like hell. I was trying to move my pants because my shorts were hung, so I was pulling, and my hand slipped, and I bam the underside of my desk, and it hurt like hell. So we're gonna go now. So thank you.
A pants-related injury at the end of the show.
Ow. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna get some ice to put on my finger probably, because that actually, I think there might be some swelling. I don't know. So thank you all so very much for joining us, and don't buy The Walking Dead, or do whatever. I don't care.